to lose. But a lot of people and a lot of managers, if you listen to all the interviews after tonight, they'll probably say the same things what Cardiff's manager said. There's been a few missed opportunities, and rightly so. You know, I said to my group last night, the lads who come in and played, look, don't make this to be a missed opportunity of you being on the front foot and you being able to knock on my door to go, I done well there, I deserve a chance. Now, I'm not saying anyone wants to go out and lose, no chance. You'd have to ask them managers. All I'm saying is there'll be a few managers going, okay, well, we're out the cup now, we can solely focus on the league.
Joby, I think we've got you back, have we?
Yeah, I'm surprised it only took 2 hours and 50 minutes the week I'm having with the technicals, to be fair. So we've done all right, Steve. But no, just jumping back on the point of the players taking responsibility and ownership of that game. And I think what I certainly came across towards the end of my playing and coaching days were some players actually going themselves, oh, it's only a Carabao Cup first round game. You know, and then it's like, again, as a gaffer, you go and put in a real top performance, Lowy would tell you, any other manager that you work with, coaches, that will make that manager think, hang on a minute, he had an absolute worldie. I've got to get him in the team somehow, particularly if you haven't started well. And Middlesbrough is a prime example. They haven't started well. And they've got good players in that squad that have not performed, obviously, to the ability that they needed to tonight to win that game. So, listen, I think I get Lowy's point. One less game, yes, but players have to take more responsibility. And going back to Clem's point about the fans, they've got to, you know, they pay their money, they want to see performances.
Let's get specific on Middlesbrough then. How much of a blow is this? Not because it's the first round of the League Cup, Mark, but because, as Joby is saying, they haven't started well. And this might feel different if Middlesbrough had 4 points or 6 points from 2 games and not 1.
Yeah, well, it's all about momentum, isn't it? And I'm not going to start hysteria. It's so early in the season, it would be ridiculous. But I guess the feel-good factor around the camp, when you haven't got the amount of targets you want. What was it? The phrase you used? Chris Wilder wanted a clump. What was it? A bunch?
No.
Didn't Vicky say?
Wait, I think he wants 5 more players.
He
so
wants
we could say 5.
So you haven't got the players you want. You'd take a point against West Brom first game of the season. You'd probably be disappointed with what happened at Loftus Road during the week. You'd be very, very disappointed about this. And you've got a ginormous game coming up against one of your promotion rivals. I mean, Borough and Sheffield United were both in the top 6 in most people's predictions with the bookies before the season kicked off. Yeah, you're putting yourself under that little bit of pressure, I think, looking at it from the outside.
Ryan?
I'm scared to say it else now.
Well, no.
So, look, I do get it, and I get both sides of it, but I know Chris Wilder well enough to know that his main objectives will be to get out the division and get Middlesbrough back into the Premier League, where arguably people will say they should be. And they've been down in the Championship for many years now. So his main aim and his job title description will be, you need to get me out the league, to the owner, and I'm sure that be it. Hence why he wants more players. Hence why he'll then find his way and his style and his brand, which he did implement last season. So, look, it's a tough one, isn't it? As a football fan, we sit here, and as a manager, you know, you're making them changes, hoping them changes work for you. You're not going out one to get beat. It hasn't worked for him tonight, but I get if the games go on and he doesn't win many games, then there's answers to be answered to, or questions to be answered to. But the fact of the matter is, I think Chris Wilder's bread and butter is to get this team and his club out of the Championship into the Premier League.
Agreed. Have you, Joby, have you ever been in and around a club that maybe didn't get a win in the first 2 or 3 league games and went out of the League Cup badly, and it just you're looking for your momentum, instead of which you get something in the reverse?
Absolutely, Clem. And I think that is the big point of these games we've talked about, the importance of them, to different parties, really. And I think certainly if you are a team that hasn't started well, you're looking at this as a game to get yourself going. You want to start the season well. You want to get that first win. If you're a striker, you want to get a goal. If you're a defender, you want to get a clean sheet. If you're a manager, you want that 3 points to kick you on. And certainly from that point of view, when you don't get it, it is going to raise a few more questions, and it piles the pressure on. They are expected to be up there, regardless whether he thinks he needs more signings or not. And the start they've had hasn't been, certainly, I don't think, what they would have expected it to be. And I think that, the longer that goes on, it can just start creeping in. Players' confidence starts going a little bit. And again, you're sort of waiting for that first win, that first result, that first bit of positivity. So it can definitely have an impact, Glenn. Definitely.
I was just looking to see if there were any attendances from tonight. I mean, I don't know whether it's time to just throw hands in the air with this and go, listen, first 2 rounds of this competition, all clubs should start to give tickets away to school kids and bring on the next generations. You come in the expectation that you're going to see the next generation of players that could be representing your football club, and drop it down a little bit in the kind of level of consciousness of the supporters.
Hold that thought. We just had the full time in the Super Cup, so let's find out who's won that.